Alrighty guys, so with the first Battlefield 6 open beta weekend coming to an end, I thought it'd be a good idea to do a video going over my first impressions and experiences. Now, as a long-time fan, let's just say the last few years have been rough. My expectations for the new Battlefield were so low they were practically underground, and I went into this beta bracing for impact, ready for another massive disappointment, another identity crisis for the series. But after one match, I'm telling you, this is it. This is the one. Battlefield is back. Look, let's be real for a second. We all had a right to be skeptical. The launch of Battlefield 2042 burnt a lot of us. That shift away from the classic class system to specialists left a lot of veterans, including myself, feeling like the strategic heart of the franchise had been ripped out. The wide open maps often felt like a running simulator for infantry, and the whole experience seemed like it was a chasing trend instead of doubling down on what made Battlefield Battlefield. So, when the beta for Battlefield 6 dropped, I was hyped, but I was cautious. I saw the marketing, I heard the whole return to form promise, and we've heard that before, right? I wanted to believe, but I had to see it for myself. I had to feel it, and after pushing a solid 30 hours, my caution has completely flipped into genuine, unfiltered excitement. This isn't just a marketing line, guys. It feels like they actually listened. Now, the very first thing that hit me was the movement. It's fluid, it's responsive, but it has that satisfying weight to it. The new mobility options letting you slide, dive, and even sprint while crouched, the little goblin run as we like to call it, make getting around the map feel incredibly dynamic without turning you into some untouchable ninja like some Call of Duty movement. It feels grounded and tactical, and you can use these moves to get you into a cover in a pinch, but every single action feels deliberate. It's awesome. And the gunplay, let's talk about it real quick. It feels awesome. It's the perfect mix of Battlefield 4's punchiness with a modern polish to it. Recoil is meaningful, you actually have to manage your bursts at range. The new weapon attachment system is a huge improvement. You have like 100 points to tweak individual parts like the barrel, stock, underbarrel, etc. Which makes every choice have a clear trade-off. You're not just stacking buffs anymore, you're making real decisions about how you want your gun to handle, which adds this fantastic layer of strategy to your loadout. The time to kill feels quick and deadly up close, but also has a noticeable drop-off at range, which means positioning and smart plays are rewarded over just pure twitchy response kills. This isn't a game where you can just ego challenge every fight and win. Positioning is now king again, and that's a win in my book, even if I just run headfirst into battle without a care in the world. Now, the more I played, the more I saw how this core philosophy touches every part of the game. Every single class now feels vital. As an engineer, you are the definitive answer to tanks and helicopters. As a support player, you're the team's lifeline, throwing down temporary cover and keeping everyone stocked with health and ammo. And a recon is so much more than just a sniper now. With tools like motion sensors, respawn beacons, and exclusive access to C4, they are now a critical intel and sabotage unit. Assault, however, has been changed a fair bit, moving from a team player role to more of a lone wolf operator with no real team-based gadgets or role to play. So for all you players just looking to run and gun without engaging in the teamwork side of things, this is now the class for you. Boasting 2 main weapons and a nifty grenade launcher, this class is now deadlier than ever. It's also about these small quality of life changes too that really add up. The new directional damage indicator, a little grey arc that shows where the suppression shots are coming from, even if they don't hit you, is brilliant for situational awareness. The suppression mechanic is back and it feels great. Laying down fire actually slows enemy health regeneration, encouraging aggressive pushes. And also, being able to drag a down teammate into cover before reviving is a total game changer, turning what used to be a suicide mission into a calculated risk. And the spawn camera is another new addition, which lets you see what your squad mate sees before you spawn in. It's a simple, smart feature that stops you from spawning right into a death trap, although it still kind of does. They kind of need to tweak that. But these aren't gimmicks, guys. They are smart additions that reward you for playing smart and playing together. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, Battlefield 2042. The specialist system is gone. The return to the classic class system fixes the single biggest issue with the last game. No more squads of identical characters all running around with grappling hooks and sniper rifles. Distinct roles are back. This restores the rock, paper, scissors gameplay that is the absolute heart of Battlefield's combined arms warfare. This feels like a true successor though to Battlefield 3 and 4, taking the best of that era and modernizing it without losing its soul. The maps, while some in the beta are more infantry focused, feel deliberately designed for this class-based action with better flow and are just all round more enjoyable to play on, in my opinion at least. Now, let's all keep a level head here. It is a beta after all, and it's not perfect, far from it. Now, personally, I did hit a few visual bugs, nothing game breaking. The game crashed once and I had a few infinite loading screens, but other than that, the game ran very smoothly. Now, me personally, I was playing with everything maxed out and in 4K, and it ran beautifully. The servers were a little bit shaky at first, which is pretty stock standard when you have upwards of like 800,000 people eagerly waiting to jump into the fun. And there's also already a healthy debate around game balancing. So for instance, some players think vehicles feel a little bit weak against a coordinated engineer squad. Others feel like the beta maps are a little bit too small and chaotic, and they're missing those huge open maps the series is famous for. Now, these are all fair points, and DICE says they're monitoring feedback, but in my experience, the core foundation of Battlefield is here and incredibly strong. And to be fair, I do kind of agree with some of these. The Cairo map, for instance, feels way too chaotic at times, and it feels like there is just way too much going on. But look, that might just be me, as I haven't really played a Battlefield game in some time, so it might just take a little bit to get used to all the chaoticness of what's going on, buildings being destroyed, RPGs, explosions, everything going on all at once. And then there's vehicles. So stating that a coordinated engineer squad makes it too easy for armored vehicles to be destroyed, but like that kind of works both ways. Yes, a tank can easily be killed by 3 people using RPGs. However, a tank is also very easily kept infinitely at full HP with 2 guys constantly repairing it. So it's either end of the extreme in this scenario. So like, what do you guys think though? Are vehicles too weak to RPGs and C4s, or is the repair mechanic too strong? Let me know in the comments below. However, there is a few things that I think personally need changing, and that is mainly focused around weapons and weapon damage. So for instance, using a DMR, you don't get a one-shot headshot. You shoot them twice in the head and they still have health left over, which I find pretty ridiculous. DMRs to the body should be a max 2 to 3 shot kill, and I would say an instant kill with a headshot because they are essentially a semi-automatic sniper rifle. So in my personal opinion, I would change this for DMRs, because otherwise there is really no incentive to use them over like the meta M4A1 and other fast firing ARs. Now, along with the DMR's damage, I would also change the sniper rifle's damage and the LMG's damage. The LMGs felt very underpowered in my opinion, and the one thing that annoyed me is needing the same amount of rounds to kill a person who is using an SMG is insane. So 5 to 6 9mm rounds to kill me with an SMG, but 5 to 6 5.56 rounds, depending on what that LMG is chambered in, still doesn't kill them. Like, I really don't know how to feel about that. And lastly, snipers. An upper chest shot was dealing around 66 damage. Now just let that sink in for a second. 66 damage. I would personally like to see an upper torso shot, well, one shot, added to the game, which I feel is pretty stock standard for most snipers in most games, and even old Battlefield games. I never really remember a time when I was dealing so little damage with an upper chest shot than in Battlefield 6. But with that in mind, guys, what did you guys think of the damage of weapons in the Battlefield 6 open beta? Do you guys think it was balanced, or would you like to see some changes made before the launch in October? Let me know in the comments. Now, I do want to just quickly say, these are just my opinions. If you disagree with them, that is perfectly fine. No need to hate, no need to talk shit. It's just my opinion. You guys can disagree with that. You guys have your own opinions, and, well, you know, that's what makes us human, right? Each can have our own opinions. Anyways, on to the next. Finally though, there was also a lot of talk surrounding cheating and hacking in the beta, and whilst it did happen, DICE seemed pretty transparent with what their anti-cheat software had detected within just the first 48 hours. So 330,000 cheating attempts and over 100,000 play reports in just 48 hours, which are just insane numbers and have raised valid concerns over whether the game will actually be able to keep up with such vast numbers of potential cheaters. And I guess it's just one of those things now that modern games have to deal with on a regular basis, but I really do hope the anti-cheat software can actually cope, because it would be a shame to see Battlefield 6 launch tainted by a bunch of hackers, but I guess that's just modern gaming for us now, eh? Alrighty guys, so to quickly wrap things up, I went into Battlefield 6 open beta expecting the worst and came out a true believer. After feeling let down by the series' direction, this game feels like coming home. It masterfully blends the classic strategic team-first gameplay that made us all fall in love with the franchise with smart, modern mechanics that only make it better. The gunplay is crisp, the movement is smooth, and the destruction is as glorious as ever. But most importantly, the focus on class identity and working with your squad is back where it belongs. This isn't just a course correction, it's a revitalization, it's tactical, it's chaotic, it's rewarding, and it is without a doubt the most fun I have had with a Battlefield game in almost a decade. It's good. It's really good. But look, that's just my take after 30 hours. I really want to know what you guys all think. What are your first impressions of the Battlefield 6 open beta? What are you loving? And what are your biggest worries? Drop it all in the comments below. And of course, if you did enjoy the video and want to stick around for the road to launch, smash that like button and subscribe for more Battlefield 6 content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all on the battlefield.